How is it going, guys? And welcome to MinkMood and welcome to Southwest Ranches. In this video I'm gonna share with you 7 tips on how to buy a classic car without getting scammed. So the first thing I strongly recommend is to get a sense of the history and the structure of the car. If you're in the USA, invest and get a Carfax. With the VIN number you can get the amount of owners the car had, the amount of miles. In this Carfax you can read the amount of miles year after year. A lot of states will require the car to be tagged every single year and they will capture the amount of miles, and that's a great segue to understand if the car was parked for a long time or if it actually had been driven constantly, which is something that you're looking for. And the third one, and probably one of the most important out of the Carfax, is if the car had been in an accident, then you need to move to the visual inspection. And the first thing from visual inspection that I strongly recommend is check for the lines of the car. This car had been so well manufactured that once you get into an accident and people start, putting parts of other cars, you will easily notice that those lines are not straight anymore. Another thing to check is the paint. You really want to see if the car has original, genuine, coming out of factory paint. Good place to check if the paint is original, it's throughout the door panels. There is very easy to see if there are 2 grades of different type of paint. Another place that you can also see and check for this paint, disruption, it's near the fuel compartment. You can easily see if there's a difference in colors. That's a way you can check if the car was actually repainted. And my last hint in this history thing is take a closer look at the brake pedal. If it's a low mileage car, that brake pedal should look mint. The second category is all about rust. You really want to avoid rust as much as you can, and there are 4 common places where these old cars get a lot of rust. The first one is undercarriage, so get down there and take a closer look. Then check the front of the car. There are specific places close to the headlamp that these cars attract rust, and there's some in the back as well, close to the back tail lights. And the last one, which is pretty hidden in this car, but would require you to grab a screwdriver, ask the owner and open, it's the bulkhead. The bulkhead is a common place to have coolant leak. This is where it connects coolant with the heater hoses. And if there's leak of coolant and the coolant will not evaporate, then that place could be bad. So the third thing, it's all about the fuel system. Fuel system in these cars, they were tricky. They were right in between the old carburetor story with the new injection system, and they were literally in between. Rebuilding a fuel distributor could be expensive. So something that you really want to understand is how this car is currently performing. So here's the tip. Ask the owner that day that you're gonna visit, that you're gonna go and check the car, to do not start the car. That you really want to understand and perform a cold start. Hear and listen the sounds within the first 10 to 15 seconds. There you need to be looking for peaceful harmony type of sounds. If you feel and you hear a lot of grounding metals, it could be the timing chain, it could be the rockers, it could be a lot of things that could have been gone. And then when the car heats up, that thing could be skewed. The fourth point is about cosmetics. And within the cosmetics, there are some things that I will strongly recommend you to put an eye on. The leather on the seats. You need to understand how they look. This could be expensive if you have to rebuild them. Then the dashboard, they usually cracked. Because of the heat, because of the sun, check for cracks, lines. Those are not as well cheap to get fixed. And the last one is the soft top. Soft top is hidden in the compartment. Try to open that compartment, open the soft top and see how it lands, see how it works. A soft top could be quite expensive as well. Moving to point number 5. This one for me and especially for my wife, it's super important. Check the exhaust system. It may have a lot of leaks, and we're not talking here about the noise that the car could make. I couldn't care less about that. we're talking about how bad this thing could smell. Point number 6 in the list, and super common in these old Benz: oil leaks. Most of these cars, they do leak, but depending from where the oil is coming, to repair them could be extremely expensive. If you're talking about rear main seal, that will require the transmission and the engine to go out, and you're talking about a lot of money. As well, it could be, you know, the valve cover gaskets, easy, cheap fix, but you're taking a risk. And to close the video with my favorite number, point number 7, the cherry on top: ask for service records. Two things you really want to understand is how frequently the engine oil was changed, and also you would like to understand if the timing chain was ever replaced. These old cars, they did have that issue, specifically these R107. Some of them, they even came with single row. They had a lot of lawsuits, and then they upgraded to double row timing chain, but still there are a lot of plastic components in there that you don't want them to go bad, crack, and break the entire engine. So with that, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing, as I'm planning on doing a lot of them while we bring this car back to life.